I think that Kenny McCaskill has kind of stood into the position of acting leader. Kenny's a substantial figure in his own right, obviously former Justice Secretary. I think that should they want to continue, they will. I think the question becomes, how do they intend to campaign ahead of 2026? Clearly there has been some vociferous disagreements with the SNP. For my money, they need to find a USP that actually balances that off, because their strategy at the last Holyrood election was, of course, vote SNP 1 and Alba 2, but the SNP didn't play ball on that. And just to remind our listeners, that's because there's a constituency vote and a regional vote, which is the proportional element of our electoral system. Should they wish to campaign on that similar platform, they are going to have some sort of agreement with the SNP. Now, you're only going to get any agreement with the SNP, I would have thought, if relations are somewhat thawed and there's some sort of strategic imperative put in. Will that happen? We finished last week's podcast. I said perhaps a fool's hope that the movement might be somewhat unified and reflecting on what's gone before and how they may want to move forward. I don't know if that's possible. Andy, cast his doubts. I suspect that Andy's probably more right on this one. But clearly that would be the immediate thought for me once you get over the aftermath, the funeral of Alex Salmond, the memorial. How do they pitch their tent, basically, for 2026? What do they need to do? And start from that basis and move forward. It's a tall order, but there was some positive signs in recent by-elections that they were getting enough percentage of the vote that might return a seat if that was those figures transpired at a larger level across the region. But it's a tall order.